Hey guys, 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 hey guys. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video with ASMR with Rudy. ASMR with Rudy. ASMR with Rudy. Rudy. Welcome back or welcome to another video with me. My name is ASMR with Rudy. Annie, Anirudh, Ani, whatever you prefer calling me, no problem. But anyways, welcome back to another video. I am so excited to be back. The beard is back, guys. The beard is back, and so am I. I have been gone for an awfully long time, for which I'm really sorry, but I hope you're as excited to see me as I am in making this video. I have a special video today for all of you, and it is a book haul. And not to brag, but I think it's one of the best book haul videos that are gonna be on the ASMR community page on YouTube. And overall, not flexing, I'm just joking, in just my opinion, it's just a very big book haul that I've prepared for everybody here, and I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna be doing a bit of tapping, a bit of rambling, a little backstory on all the books that I've purchased. Some of them are direct first-hand purchases, while some are thrifted. I'm not some rich crazy person. It's just I got a lot of them on a cheaper discounted price, and I got some of them for a bit of a pricier purchase, but it's okay. It's like I bought them in bulk, so it was a bit cheaper in comparison to just buying books once in a while. And hopefully yeah, I give you guys a good experience, a good tingly sleep, some nice rambles that can help you feel relaxed, and I hope you enjoy. Let's start with a timeline order of the books. We will work our way up, and I will show you all the books that I have, starting with dun 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 dun. Harry Potter. It is a collab. Not really, I don't know. Sponsor me, Warner Brothers. Not really. Anyway, so we have Harry Potter, and for those of you who have watched my videos from the beginning, you already know that I have Harry Potter. So it doesn't really count that this is a new book that I'm showcasing, and it may not seem like a book haul of new books, but it is in a way, because I haven't shown you the rest of the pile, the boxed set. As you can see, these are the rest of the books. Book 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we've got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, obviously. Then we have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Shallows, in this wonderfully glittery, purpley Harry Potter, the complete collection box set. Not only is it picturesque in the back, it is also a very, very pretty collection. And not to say that it isn't the tingliest book ever, but it is the tingliest book ever. The book set, that is. I keep the rest of them inside because I still haven't finished part 1. I'm a bit of a slow reader. Not in my speed exactly, it's just that I keep forgetting to read books now and then. But that doesn't stop me from buying them, does it? Not at all. What a beautiful habit. But regardless, Harry Potter. It is in a beautiful embossing, and it is 25th year anniversary edition. It is the new kind of look to the book. It's not the classic that older fans might have grown up with. This is just something that's more recent. It's a different artwork, but I like it nonetheless. It was a bit pricey, but it's overall a better purchase in comparison, because I didn't buy them one at a time. Instead, I bought them all at once, and so it's sort of cheaper in a way. Not exactly. Up next, we have to cap this off with a very hefty hardcover, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. 19 years later. For those of you wondering, this is not purchased by me, it is thrifted rather. I purchased it secondhand. Sorry, not thrifted, I purchased it secondhand. The rest of the books that I will show you, half of them are thrifted, but this is second-hand purchase that I got from a friend of mine during my university days. And I'm saying that as if I'm some very old person, but I'm not. I just graduated in some close period of time. I'm not that old, but yeah, I got this from a friend of mine for a discounted price. It is a special rehearsal edition script. Both the parts are included, and so it's quite a big book. Let's open it up and flip through the wonderful pages and look at the artwork that we can see on the inside. And so that is it for the Harry Potter set of books that I've got. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Up next, I would like to showcase the first set of books that I ever thrifted. A special friend of mine, we went together. They're a really good friend of mine. They took me to this bookstore, thrift store, quite close to our place, and that's where they introduced me to the concept of thrifting books, because I hadn't heard of that before. I just thought thrifting meant for clothes, but I found out then that there are thrift stores for books as well, where you get books at a fraction of its cost, and there is the opportunity to return some books to them and get books in return. I mean, give books to them and get books in return. And so I would like to show you one of my most treasured books as of now. For those of you that don't know, Dune is a really old book, and this is the first book in a series of 6 books, and it does come with a lot more books in the entire saga, but the six main books are the main set of books that people can read, and the others are sort of just additional books and encyclopedias and such. But this is book number one. It is by Frank Herbert. The movie has also come out. It came out sometime October of year 2021, I believe, and the second part is coming soon as well. It is starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya and a lot of other amazing casts such as Florence Pugh and several others. I got this at a fraction of its cost. It is quite an expensive book in general in stores, but it is quite cheap in comparison. So sorry y'all, so sorry. I had to sneeze, and so I paused the video. I apologize. But everything is back to normal now. But anyway, as I was saying, Dune is one of the first books that I ever thrifted, and I got it at a fraction of its price, because it is otherwise a very pricey book, and so I'm very happy about it, that I got it at a much cheaper price, and in a really decent condition, that too. It's a very hefty book. I believe it's around 500 or so pages, and it's very thick. Up next, we have Sun, and for those of you who don't know what Sun is, it's book number 4 of a series of books called the Giver Quartet, and it is part of the Giver Quartet, which has the Giver, the Giver, Gathering Blue, Messenger, and finally the Sun. I'm sure some of you might recognize the name The Giver because it is a very popular book and a decent movie that it was adapted into. They are not connected in any way, the 4 books, not that I know of, but they are sort of a series of books that are sort of part of a set that you can purchase together, I believe. But I didn't do that. I actually read The Giver from another friend of mine long back, handed me the book to read, and that's when I first came to know of The Giver. I read The Giver, and then I was able to purchase Gathering Blue, and Messenger, which are the second and third parts, but I unfortunately did not find Sun nor The Giver, but I was then able to purchase The Giver, which I will show you in a second. And I also was able to purchase, no, I didn't purchase the Sun book. The Sun book, Sun by Lois Lowry, I got in the same thrift shop where I found this. But this is in near mint condition. It is such a well-maintained book. Shout out to the store, they are amazing at handling their books. But it really depends, it's a bit of luck involved there. But regardless, let's move on to the next set of books that I have. These two next books involves one thrifted book and one book that I got from my cousin. So it's not really a thrift, it's just sort of I got it from my cousin, but yeah. So up first we have the Axeman's Jazz. Issued a statement saying that play jazz or die. And so it is a book set in 1919 New Orleans, where a person on a murder streak, a murdering serial killer, issues a statement and you need to play jazz or suffer the consequences. And so I'm really excited to read this book as well. Really excited, because not only is it weird and unique, it has a very nice cover. Anyway, that's the back. Let's move on to book 451. I'm kidding. It's Fahrenheit 451, and it is a very nice cover. It's a book with a matchsticks on the inside. For those of you who don't know, it's set in a world. This book is set in a world where books were burned down and something like that, and so it's like really hard to come by books. I do not know why, because I haven't read the book, but I am really excited. It's set in a dystopian landscape, a dystopian era, and it is the 60th anniversary edition. I got this from my cousin. It was very sweet of them to give this to me, and they maintained it in an amazing condition. So it's almost near mint condition copy. Moving on, we have some really classic books as well. Some of you might recognize And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. I got this book from the same friend that took me to the thrift store first time, and it was actually a book exchange with them. So I gave them a book. I actually gave them Magnus Chase, the very first part, and they gave me this in return. Another book that I got from the thrift store, a hardcover of Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore. That's the back, that's the back, that's the back, that's the back, that's the back. The story follows the cat, Kafka, I believe, and it's the story about the cat really sure, but I do know that it's a classic book. So when I found it in the thrift store, I was definitely gonna buy it because again, it was really, really cheap, and I was in a bit of a shopping spree for the books of the world and beyond. I used to read lots of books back in my schooling days, but I lost the habit because of, well, Instagram. I hate to admit it, but I stopped reading books and I just got really, really hooked onto just watching videos and texting people. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I didn't find enough time to fit in reading. But I am excited to start reading again, and I have been little by little the last couple of months, so I am quite happy about that. But up next, some more books that I've got from the thrift store, but this time I took books down and I gave books to the store and got books back. And most of the books that I got from the thrift store were done in that manner. I either took books down or got them at really cheap rates, and it was even cheaper to buy the books because we gave a lot of books and took some books from them in return. So how it works in the store is that you take books down, and according to the condition and the size of the book, they may let you take a book back for it or 2 books for it. So if I took something like this down for exchange, I might get 2 books because of the size and the condition. But if I took something like this down, it's not that big, nor is it that small, but I may get 1 book only for it, and something even smaller than this might get me only 1 book, or might get me a book but at a cost, so I wouldn't get it for free. And it's usually not that expensive. Let's say if a book is $10, you might get it for like 3, and something like that. So yeah, that's kind of the going price usually, but it's not that bad. It's $3 to $5 on the usual, or 10 to 15 dirhams depending on the size, or 20 max. And usually books in where I live are 50 to 60 dirhams, which is 10 plus dollars, 10 to $15 as such. And that's in traditional bookstores, right? Like yeah, but the thrift store is relatively inexpensive, and so it's really nice. Up next we have these 2 books, which I got in exchange for several other books that I took. I think I took 5 to 7 books, and I got these 2 books in return because they were really massive. And I got these 2 for free because I gave 7 books in total, and they were relatively small in comparison. And so getting these 2 is a really big deal. Not only because this is a very, very large book, about 800 pages or something like that, and then this one is 2 books in one, so I got 3 books in total. Hello out there is a combination of 2 books, The Hercules Text and A Talent for War, and it is written by Jack McDewitt, and it is an autographed copy of the book. I do not know where his signature is found, but I believe it is an autographed copy. Where is the signature? That I do not know. Where the signature is, that I do not know, but if I am to find it, I will show it to you. If I happen to find it, that is, sorry. I've not made lots of videos recently, so excuse if I'm a little bit lost when I'm speaking. But regardless, I am quite happy with this anyway. I feel like I've been scammed because I don't remember where the signature is, but it doesn't matter much. It's just a sci-fi book, and I love sci-fi, so I'm pretty excited to read it anyway. Up next we have Shantaram. This is also a very classic book, I believe, and it's really highly rated. I do not know how good it actually is, but the blurb sure is interesting. And actually, I would like to read it to you guys, because not only is it the most ridiculous thing ever, it is quite interesting at the same time. So, a novel of high adventure, great storytelling, and moral purpose, based on an extraordinary true story of 80 years in the Bombay underworld. In the early 80s, Gregory David Roberts, an armed robber and heroin addict, escaped from an Australian prison to India, where he lived in a Bombay slum. There he established a free health clinic and also joined the mafia, working as a money launderer, and street soldier. And street soldier. He found time to learn Hindi and Marathi, fall in love, and spend time being worked over in an Indian jail. Then, in case anyone thought he was slacking, he acted in Bollywood and fought with the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. Amazingly, Roberts wrote Shantaram 3 times after prison guards trashed the first two versions. It's a profound tribute to his willpower, at once a high-kicking, eye-gouging adventure, a love saga, and a savage yet tenderly lyrical fugitive vision. Interesting. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to some of the more first-hand purchases that I've made, which I'm very excited to show you guys. I can't wait. Alright, up first we have The Giver, which obviously is part 1 to The Giver Quartet, and I already have parts 2 and 3, and I showed you part 4 just now. Let me hold it up for you guys. So it doesn't have the same artwork as these books. The rest of the books have the similar artwork, but this is just the movie copy. It just has the movie copy. If you flip it around, it's the same image. It looks like an eye, gray and blue colored, grayscaled. I recommend this book to all the people that are wanting to get into reading and don't find the time to do so. The Giver is a good starting place because not only is it a very gentle yet completely packed story, it is very emotional, it is very captivating, and it is very engaging a read, to say the least. I highly endorse this book for all of those people that are seasoned readers and beginner readers as well. It's a very, very heartfelt and sweet little book. And it's not that long. It's about maximum 200 pages or so. Yeah, it's about 220 pages or so. Yep. A very recommended read. As I was telling you guys that I'm a big fan of sci-fi, in true fashion, I had to get books by the one and only amazing sci-fi author, Sir Arthur C. Clarke. I have 2 of his most famous books, Childhood's End and Rendezvous with Rama. So Childhood's End is a really well-rated book of his, and it is about this utopic landscape. It follows the story of a utopia that Earth is able to have under the control and rule of peaceful alien species. They peacefully colonized Earth and gave them a utopic society in return. Gave them utopia, that is, but that stripped them away of the culture that Earth had. So basically, it just became a society that was just basically the same color, the same people, everything same. It was no longer about culture. So Earth and its people lost its cultural values, and it's essentially about that. It's essentially about that story. It's about some kid that has a dream about this thing, and it's aliens peacefully colonizing Earth and making humans have an utopic society. But I guess that takes away control really quickly because you're just fueled by dopamine all the time, because life is fantastic. There's no suffering, there is no tradition, there's nothing else left, there's no culture, there's nothing, and there's no value to the human society anymore. You're just all the same, singular entity. And so I think it follows a story on that note. It is a cute, nice copy. And then we have Rendezvous with Rama. It's a nice copy as well. It is a more recent copy and design of the book. I do not mind it that much, but I would have liked the original copy and version a bit more. It follows the story of scientists who try to go on board a 50-kilometer long, almost, I believe, alien spaceship vessel that has entered the solar system, and they've basically gone down to explore and investigate what exactly is this mysterious entity that's arrived. And so I believe they term the ship Rama, and so it's Rendezvous with Rama, literally them going there and investigating. Anyway, up next we have some more books by Arthur C. Clarke, but this time it is a set of books. So it's a 3-parter book. This is the first part, Time's Eye. This is the second part, Sunstorm, and this is the third part, Firstborn. That's funny because the third part has the word first in it, but regardless. So I won't say much about what the book is because that's literally very spoiler territory, but it is part of the Time Odyssey series, and these two books are also, and the Time Odyssey series is these three books. Yep. And it is quite an adventurous and fantastic read. For those getting into sci-fi, I highly recommend this book. It is a tad bit complicated, but it is very fun to read. The first part is an absolute gem of a book. The second part is also very good. The third part can be a bit of a letdown, but it's not that bad. And you may be thinking, have I read these before? Yes, I have. I read them a long time ago, but I did not own these. So I just went and decided to purchase the copies because they're really cool. Just look at how it looks. It's so cool. Time's Eye, Sunstorm, and Firstborn. Anyway, up next we have some more amazing books. I'm not sure if you might know this book, but it is a really good book. It's a very underrated gem, I think. I would like to say. I've always thought this book was very underrated, but I absolutely love it. It's called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Without spoiling too much of the book, rather nothing really, I'm just going to give you the straightforward plot of it, not going to spoil anything. It's about this kid who discovers a dog with a pitchfork through it in the middle of the night, and it's basically that. But it's very cool. It's a mystery novel with lots of cool, interesting, unique descriptions and storylines, and it's a very fun book to read. And for beginner readers, I really recommend this as well. It's a very pretty book. Not as pretty as you guys though. This is starting to get a bit of a long video, but I think you guys deserve that because I haven't made a video in a while. But anyway, let me just get the rest of the books. I had to get myself this. It is one of my favorite, and it is, if not one of the, it is the most sweetest book ever. It is The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank's diary. It is a heartbreaking yet very heartfelt book. It is about Anne Frank during the Second World War, when the Jewish people were being massacred in Germany, and it's her story and how she hid with her family before they got caught, and her book diary got lost in the place that she was hiding at, and when she got taken away, and her father later returned. Unfortunately, her father was the only surviving member of her family after the events of the World War, but because he was the only surviving member, at least he was able to come back and find this book and get it published to tell her story, which is very sweet because in some way or the other she lives on in our hearts through this book, through her memories, through the house that still stands today as a museum for the family and for Anne Frank. It is truly a classic, and I really recommend everybody to read this book. It is very good. Up next, we have the cutest book ever, The Little Prince. And now I know it's a child's book. It is a child's book. It is a child's book, but that doesn't mean it is not for adults. It has a lot of messages for adults as well. It is not an adult book, but it has a lot of implications and a lot of morals and lessons and messages that adults can take away. And I thought that it would be a good read and a good purchase as well, because not only is it a very cute book, it is a very classic and nice and sweet book to read as well. I highly recommend it. We are nearly entering the end of the video, and so I will quickly wrap up the rest of the books that I have. Some of you may know the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, but what you don't know is that it is actually, it's a one out of the 4 book part that it is, the Odyssey series. Part 1, 2001, Part 2, 2010, Part 3, 2061, and Part 4, and finally 30 3001. It is a 1,000-year-long epic adventure, and truly one for the ages, and I can't wait to read them. I wanted to read the book first before I watched the movie, because I wanted to just experience the book for itself as opposed to watching the movie and then reading the book. Just because I thought it's Arthur C. Clarke and I really love Arthur C. Clarke. I have like 10 of his books that I purchased already. Anyway, let me quickly wrap up the rest of the books that I have. This isn't a book that is to be read, it's not a novel, but it is a diary that I found. It comes in this cute pouch, cute little bag, which makes the best and most tingliest of sounds. And inside is one of the most amazing purchases I've made. It is expensive, but not that much. It's a decent price, but it is a diary, and it says Amor Vincit Omnia, which means love conquers all. And the poet that is me truly loves it, because I love writing with the theme of love and hope, and this really satisfies my requirements for writing in books, because I don't write in books as much as I write in my notepad. And so I've recently tried to get nice little notebooks, so I inculcate the habit of writing in them, not just because I want to preserve my poetry, but also because I think it's just classic behavior, right, to write poetry in cute little notebooks. It's really nice. It's, I believe, leather bound and really satisfying to look at and hold, and I hope to start writing in it sometime soon. And I will make a video of me reciting some more poetry for you guys, and so let me know if you want to see me recite poetry from this book or not. Up next we have this amazing book. It is a deluxe bound hardbound edition of George Orwell's 1984, and it is golden pages, and you will not believe I got this at a very, very discounted rate, and I couldn't help myself and I had to buy it, and I was really excited to buy it as well. And so I present to you 1984. And the back is also pretty cool. If you'd like me to read any of the books out loud on a video, do let me know, because I'd be very excited to do that for you guys. But on to the second last book, Shakespeare's annotated Macbeth. Now, I learned Macbeth during my high school days, during literature lessons, and it was one of my, if not the most favorite plays of Shakespeare. I think it's a very underrated and a very amazing story. Not only is it very, what's the word for it? It's just not very appreciated by fans of literature, I feel, in comparison to stuff like Romeo and Juliet or The Tempest or Hamlet. And I'm not putting those books down, but Macbeth is amazing. And I loved learning it during my literature class days, high school days. And I had to get a copy of it for memory, nostalgia, and just so that I could read again. Plus, I'm teaching my sister a bit of literature, and I thought this is a good starting ground. And now, on to the final book. This was a long-awaited purchase, and it was a very, very sweet and very heartfelt purchase, because I read this book very long ago, about 6 years now. 5-ish years back, and I instantly fell in love with it. It is the first part of a 7-parter book series. I have till part 6. I tried purchasing part 7, but there was an issue, and I had to return the book to Amazon. But regardless, This is book 1 of the Clifton Chronicles by Jeffrey Archer. It is Only Time Will Tell, book 1. I absolutely love this book and I wholeheartedly endorse it. I love reading it, and I'm gonna love reading it for a second time. It was one of, if not the most beautiful reads of my life, and I can wholeheartedly endorse and back this book. To anybody looking for a very overall well-developed story and sort of all-rounder book that has a bit of everything in it, I highly recommend this series. Not just this book, this entire series. It's by Sir Jeffrey Archer, the 7 books, and they're all amazing. I haven't read parts 5, 6, and 7, but I still think they will definitely be amazing. I'm already on part 4, and I'm halfway through it, and I can't wait to finish the series. And with that, we have come to the end. We have come to the end. We have come to the end. We have come to the end of our amazing and really long haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. I loved making this video for you guys, for you amazing people out there, my amazing viewers, you amazing people. I absolutely love and cherish each and one of you on the channel, even if it's just for a second that you come on the channel. If it's a regular viewer that you are, if it's a viewer out there it's one of you that is unsubscribed or subscribed, I appreciate each and one of you equally, and I appreciate all of your time and support. Thank you so much for still checking out the content on my channel in the time that I've been gone. I am so grateful and truly excited to start making videos again. And yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions, if you need any types of particular videos, if you prefer a certain whispering voice. And I believe that's it. Oh, there's a tear forming in my eye. I don't know if I got emotional or if my eyes are just teary. Let me get that out of the way. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming down over to the channel today and watching the video. And as always, take care, sleep well, stay safe. Don't forget to take your medicine if you need to. Don't forget to do your nighttime routines or your daytime or your evening time routines. Don't forget to eat. Don't forget to drink water. And don't forget to keep watching. And I hope you have a tingly and well-rested night of sleep, my friends, or whatever it is that you're choosing to do during this ASMR video. Take care.